Hi, welcome to this lesson. Previously, we discussed custom node modules and how you can build and use modules. In this video, we will look at the global scope and some of the available objects that we can use. In Node.js, the global object refers to the global scope, the outmost or the outermost scope accessible from any part of your code base. Now, things that you can access include variables, functions, and objects. Now, any of these that is declared in the global scope are accessible from anywhere within your Node.js application. Let's take a look at a comparison between the window object in the normal DOM JavaScript and the global keyword in Node.js. In DOM JavaScript, the window object serves a similar purpose to the global keyword in Node.js. Both represent the global scope and provide access to global variables, functions, and objects. However, there are some key differences. In Node.js, the global keyword is explicitly available without needing to reference any object, whereas in DOM JavaScript, the global variables and functions are properties of the window object. That simply means that for you to access anything that is global, you need to make use of the window dot, and then you access the property of the window object. In Node.js, the global scope is limited to Node.js runtime environments, whereas in DOM JavaScript, the global scope encompasses the entire browser window. For example, let's look at how to access global variables in Node.js and also how to do that in DOM JavaScript. In Node.js, you can simply type console.log and then you have the name of the global scope that you want to access, while in JavaScript, you need to make use of the window dot and then you access whatever function or variable that you want to access. We are going to look at this in a demo, but for now, let's move on. Next, let's look at some of the global objects available in Node.js. Node.js provides several global objects that are accessible from anywhere within the application. Some of the global objects in Node.js includes, of course, we have process. Now, process provides information about the current Node.js process, the environment variables, and the methods for interfacing or interacting with the process. And next, we have the console, which is global, and you've seen me use that a couple of times. So console provides methods for logging messages to the console. And of course, we have the require, which I use to import the modules that were created in the previous video. So require functions are used to import modules and dependencies into the Node.js application. Now, let's throw in a demo and see how we can make use of some of these global variables that are available in Node.js. Now, let's make use of this environment again. First, I'm going to clear out this error, and I'm also going to clear out what we've created here. Now, the first global variable or function that you will notice is the console. So here in JavaScript and even in Node.js, the console is available across all your Node.js application, and you can simply call it at any point. Okay, so first, you don't need to make use of global dot. You don't need to make use of any objects here. You can just simply call out the name and it's going to respond. Okay, so for example, we've been making use of console.log, and the console is basically a global object that is available. All right, so the next one is process. So you can simply call process in Node.js. So let's put this in here. And if you log this, it's basically going to work as expected. Okay, so we have process. And then lastly, what I mentioned was we have require. And require, we've used this to import dependencies or modules into our application. Okay, so when working in a Node.js environment, these are some of the global variables that are available and you can make use of them without actually importing them. So for example, we have the console, we also have the process, and we have the require. You can make use of these objects without importing them anywhere in your application. All right, so let's move back to the slide and let's continue from there. This video provides an overview of the global keyword in Node.js, including its role in defining global scope, a comparison between the window object in DOM JavaScript, and an explanation of some of the global objects available in Node.js. Additionally, it includes example demonstrating global scope usage and access to global objects in Node.js. That's all for these videos, and let's see you in the next video.